Chestnut has enjoyed tremendous critical and commercial success as a film and television star. He's best known for his roles in Boys in the Hood, The Brothers, Think Like a Man, The Best Man Holiday, and The Perfect Guy. And he also stars in the title role for Fox's TV series, Rosewood. And Obi Obadike is a fitness celebrity and a nutrition expert who has trained some of the most influential celebrities in the world. And one of the top 10 most influential fitness experts on the web. Obi is a co-host of Trinity Broadcast Network's and Hope Channel's Lifestyle Magazine and Spike TV's Sweat Inc. with Jillian Michaels. He was named one of the top 50 fittest men by AskMen.com in 2016. And I'd like to welcome to the Model Health Show, Obi and Morris. How you doing today, guys?
Thanks, man.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Totally my pleasure. Totally my pleasure. So, Obi, I'd like to start with you, man. What got you interested in this whole field of health and fitness in the first place?
Well, I think it was playing sports. I'm an athlete. I'm still consider myself an athlete. I played basketball, track in high school. I played basketball and track in high school and college. And I ran track at Cal State Fullerton in college. I always thought I'd be a professional athlete, but I had injuries that kind of prevented me from getting there. I always felt like I had the talent, but it didn't happen. So fitness really found me through, I felt like the better shape I was, the better athlete I'd be in my respective sports. And then it just got to a situation where I really started to fall in love in terms of seeing if I can use the knowledge that I gained when I was in high school and college, well, actually college and post-college, to see if I would be able to help people. I didn't really think that you could make a profession out of fitness. Like, I was like, man, what am I going to do? Work out? And,
what year was this?
Be a trainer at LA Fitness or something like that, man. The funny thing about it, I had a regular...
What year was this?
What year was what?
Yeah, when you kind of started to get interested in, like, I didn't know that this could be a thing.
It was probably about, I would say, 2002, 2003, where I had a regular job. I think I was doing satellite engineering at the time, which is kind of crazy. And I really wanted to figure out how I can come in the game and create a name for myself and create influence. And so I felt like the best way that I could create a name was really getting in magazines and having people respect me for someone who takes his health and his fitness level seriously. Because unfortunately, you can have all the knowledge in the world, all the degrees, but if you don't look the part, a lot of times people will just they won't pay attention to you. So when I came in the industry, probably around 2000, when I really got serious, was probably about 2006, 2007. And then my focus was just trying to get on every magazine I could think of, covers, art, it didn't matter. And I was committed to doing it. And I was really blessed to have success as a writer. So not only, it was almost like a trifecta effect. It was just like I was training people, training celebrities, writing for magazines, and then getting on all these magazine covers. So I just had my hand on so many different things. And, and then just everything just kind of took from there.
Perfect, man. So you stacked conditions in your favor.
Absolutely. I think that the thing about it is that if you really want to be influential, you really want to have your finger on a lot of different things, whether as a writer, whether as a motivational speaker, whether if you have an opportunity to host a show, all those different platforms will help with your influence. And then if you truly are genuine, that you really want to help people, because a lot of people out there that are in shape and fit, but it's a lot of narcissism. You're posting 10 photos of yourself every single day, as opposed to, do you really want to help people, or is this really all about you? And for me, if you look at my page, I probably post more memes than for pictures of myself. In fact, advisors tell me you need to post more pictures of yourself, more pictures, and I'm just like, so I'm kind of like...
So how can you serve?
How can I serve without a doubt, but still getting the message about... Because people still are motivated by that image. Like,
of course, yeah.
Fit,
I
right?
totally understand that,
I fight that, because initially I don't want to put that out there, but people still want to see that you're in shape.
That's how you guys actually connected,
right.
So can you tell us about that? How did you partner up with him? I think, first of all, I got to say this. You're well noted for being one of the fittest guys in Hollywood, but then you ran into a little kind of downslide for a while.
Yes. I'd been, sometimes depending upon the project, I would get in shape, and then I would kind of go off the diet a little bit. And normally it wouldn't be hard for me to get back into shape. And, so what happened was I was in New York filming a TV show called Nurse Jackie. And it was so cold. I'm from California. It was very cold at that time of year. And I literally wouldn't walk out of my apartment to walk across the street to go to the gym. It was literally right across the street, and I wouldn't go. It was so cold. And just being in your 40s, I'm in my 40s, and I was in my 40s at the time, and the weight just creeps up on you. I was eating bad food, and I wasn't working out at all. And then Malcolm Lee, the director of The Best Man, he called me and said, hey, listen, we're gonna do the sequel to The Best Man called The Best Man Holiday. Need you to be in shape. So I said, okay. So I knew it was a challenge. So I happened to be on the phone with a mutual friend of ours, and we were potentially gonna do some business together, and I was on their website, and I pulled up a picture, and I knew I had to get in shape, and I was looking on their website, and I saw Obi. So I said, so who's this dude on your website? He's ripped. And she's like, she told me about him. I said, well, how old is he? Because, any cat in his 20s can be ripped. And she told me his age. I said, okay, he does some stuff that I need to be down with. So that's how we came together.
That's incredible. That reminds me of my son. So he's in his teens, and it's just like, if you're a teenager, six-pack don't count yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't count on skinny guys, man.
Exactly.
So, it was a really great story, and you guys kind of outline that in the book and how you guys got connected. But there's a saying that you put in the book that actors get fat on set.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Well, see, the problem with, say for instance, I'll give you an example. The show I'm doing now, Rosewood. The problem with movie sets is there's always food on set, and there's always tons of bad choices. We have this thing called craft service. Mm-hmm. Craft service it's a dream table because it has literally every guilty pleasure you can think of: Twinkies, donuts, candy, and it's there all day, every day. Potato chips, a million unhealthy choices. So an example of my day, when I get to work, say for instance 7 o'clock, I can get whatever I want from the catering truck. And it could also be bad. I can get French toast, or I can get the egg whites. I can get the pancakes and the syrup, or I can get, some asparagus and some chicken. But most of the time, it's really hard to eat healthy, so I'll normally get the healthy choice. But then after breakfast, we have craft service. So right after breakfast, they put out all the donuts, whatever you want to eat, it's there. Then 3 hours into the workday, we have what's called our snack. So they will bring like an upgraded snack. It could be chicken sliders. A lot of times it's like burritos. So it's really very easy to gain weight on set because there's always food and there's always a lot of unhealthy choices.
So what was the approach that you took with Morris? He mentioned the fact that, he's into his 40s now, the metabolism's changed. So what did you do to change his perception that this was even possible to be in the kind of shape that you're in when you guys got started?
I think that what I loved about really working with Morris was the fact that, I don't want to say that that I applauded him being, in the worst shape of his life, but it was great selfishly for myself because there was an opportunity for me to transform him. And then I even told him, I said, man, people are going to talk about your physique. Just watch. And so I thought when we decided to work together, I think it was just him having that trust with me that I'm going to take care of him, I'm going to make sure he gets in shape, and that I was committed to him. Because a lot of times you can work with someone, but you don't know if they're committed to you. You know what I mean? And I just saw it as a one-off opportunity to work with him, particularly with this huge movie that he was associated with. And but I also wanted to capture that story as well. I was just trying to figure out how can we capture the story because he's out of shape. He's got to look ripped. So anyway, in a nutshell, he dropped 33 pounds in 12 weeks. He was following the program really from the cut in terms of the protocol, which was I had him on a 10 to 12 calorie per pound diet. He wasn't over 220. So 10 to 12 calories per pound, if you're 220 pounds or less, would work out for that. So I think he started out about 2,200 calories when he started. Then after, I think, the first 4 weeks, he dropped down to about 19 to 1,800. And then after week 7, week 8, he dropped about another 200 calories. And then the last 4 weeks, I think the lowest he was at was maybe 1,600, 1,700, if I remember correctly. My objective was really, I wanted him to look like a superhero. I wanted people to just say, man, what the hell is he doing?
Right.
And so, and it was funny because when we started, And you know, sometimes people just will, when they work out and train, maybe they just don't touch on certain body parts or whatever. So when he started, he was struggling. I think he just didn't pull-ups, you know, in a while or whatever. And initially he struggled with doing 3 to 4 pull-ups by himself. And then he's a competitive guy because he played sports too. So he was pissed, like, damn, I can't do 10 pull-ups. What the hell? You know, and then after like 12 weeks, he was knocking them out, like 4 sets to 12 to 15, like it was nothing. And so his strength increased. And, you know, there was accountability. Every Monday morning he would step on the scale, you know, and then we had funny moments with those.
Yeah, because that was funny because at the time I was promoting movies. So I was working out with Obi. I was getting ready for The Best Man, but I was promoting this movie that I had with Halle Berry. So I would work out with Obi Monday through Thursday, Monday through Friday, and then I would go on the weekends to do this press junket. And so I'll never forget. So he would weigh me. I'd get on the scale right after the workout on Thursday. And then I go on the press junket on Monday. I come back on Monday morning. He said, "How was your weekend?" Like, "It was good, man. How'd you eat? How was your diet?" "No, it was good. I had a couple little things." And I would literally get on the scale and be 5 to 7 pounds heavier. Over a weekend, it was crazy, and it was really, really eye-opening to me because it was like, hey, you know, the next time I had the fight with my mini bar, it was with my mini bar calling my name. I think about Obi, put me on the treadmill, making me pay for it. But it was one of those things to where I didn't realize how my weight fluctuated so drastically. I could look at a donut and gain 2 pounds. That's how I felt. And so it's just having that accountability to Obi and just it also put a lot of emphasis on what I ate.
Yeah. And just from what I've seen in your guys' book is there wasn't as much struggle as you thought it would be, you know, because that's one of the things that I really promote is that health does not equal suffering. Right? Those two things don't really go together. And so getting kind of tapped into some of these crazy things that people believe they have to do to get in shape.
Right.
And that's what I'm really about is like breaking down those crazy beliefs and changing people's paradigms. So I want to ask you guys about some of these fitness myths that you highlight in the book.
Okay.
One of them is that, and I've heard this 1,000 times too, man.
I have an idea what that question's going to be, but go ahead.
So this one is eating small meals throughout the day will speed up your metabolism exponentially and help speed up fat loss.
Right. Well, I think that's the biggest myth out there. It's been published in books. It's online. There was a time I even thought that too. I raised my hand and I believed it as well too. But the science out there is invalidates that you don't have to eat 7 meals or 8 meals a day and think that it's going to speed the rate of your metabolism. And so we wanted to educate people that, hey, you don't have to, your meal frequency is not going to dictate the rate of your metabolism. At the end of the day, it's really the quality of the calories and how many calories you're consuming that will be a big component to weight loss versus weight gain. So we really wanted to, unfortunately, you have a lot of people out there, man, that have a couple degrees or maybe they're an expert and they're just putting out a lot of misinformation because we wanted to be honest with people and say, look, this is the deal. This is what's correct. Don't believe what you see out there. You should, and in the book, we say, question everybody.
Yeah,
don't believe anybody. Do your own research because we're human. We're going to make mistakes. You know, if there's times where I've made a mistake in an article, I said, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. I should have done more research. And I think if people can be more honest with themselves when they make mistakes, then maybe we can minimize the misinformation that's out there.
Absolutely. Yeah. You know, and I want to share this. So this was a study conducted by the University of Warwick in the UK and found that despite popular belief that eating multiple small meals throughout the day will help you to lose weight, the frequency of meals does not affect the calories we burn each day. Yeah. So this has been confirmed. This is something I was taught in a university setting, you know, in training as a strength and conditioning coach. And, you know, even these ideas of if you don't eat a meal, your metabolism is not on or it's slowed down. If your metabolism is not on, you're dead.
You're dead.
You know, your metabolism is always working.
But
you said that perfect thing, which is it's the quality of the calories that you consume.
Absolutely, yeah, without a doubt.
So also, I want to talk about this other fitness myth that you talk about. So this one is eating carbs at night will make you gain weight.
Right. I think eating carbs at night or eating at night, period, either of those two, people think that, I mean, I don't know how many times I've heard someone say, you know what, I got to make sure I eat my food before 8 p.m. because I'm going to gain extra weight, extra couple pounds tomorrow. Like, You know, and there's at times I thought that too. You know, I made the mistake of thinking that, and then research was presented to me by someone who was smarter than me and said, dude, Obi, this is the deal. And then you see research where I think there was a research either published in the Journal of Obesity or whatever, where a group consumed 80% of their carbs late at night, and the other group consumed carbs in the daytime, and it was over like a 6-8 week period. And the group that consumed 80% of the carbs late at night lost more weight than the group that consumed early in the day.
I saw that study.
So yes, it doesn't. No, you know what I mean. It really, at the end of the day, it's the quality of the like. What I really want to educate people is what really irks me is what every time I'm on TV or anytime I see something, someone's always blaming carbs for their culprit of weight gain. And carbs is good for you. It's fuel, you know, and you don't want to mess with that in terms of because it's going to affect your energy, how you're going to function throughout the day. It's going to affect the glucose to the brain. You know, the American Dietetic Association, I believe they recommend a minimum of 135 grams of carbs per day just for basic energy functionality. So it's about the types of carbs, the healthy carbs that are out there, you know, such as the brown rice, the sweet potatoes, the oatmeal, and these are things that he ate.
Yeah.
But what about the lower quality carbs? You know, you mentioned the French toast and all that stuff. Don't you get to have some of that stuff every now and then, though?
Well, yeah. See, that's one thing about our diet. See, it's a program, lifestyle program, nutrition program. Right. So yes, so we say, okay, so have a strict diet Monday through Friday. And basically on Saturday, you can have 2 cheat meals, and on Sunday, you can have 2 cheat meals. But with those cheat meals, they're just cheat meals, they're not cheat days. And the portion control, you should have nothing larger than the palm of your hand. And so, yeah, so it allows you to indulge. So our diet, matter of fact, Sue, a lot of people think they need to starve, like you guys were talking about earlier, but when we first started, remember, I couldn't eat all that food. Yeah. There was so much food, I couldn't even eat it.
That's called a high quality problem right there.
Yeah, exactly. And right. so that's why, we allow you to eat and you can indulge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I call it a treat meal.
A treat meal,
so
okay.
You call it a treat meal, we call it a cheat meal, and I don't think it's realistic that you could tell someone that they have to eat a certain way 7 days a week. I don't think most people aren't going to be successful.
Yeah, with all the goodness that's out there in the
world.
All
you know what I mean? It's just, you know, and so we're just saying, look, you can still lose weight, you can still maintain your shape. Indulging, it's just understanding portion control, understanding, you know, how big the portion size should be. That's still going to allow you to get to your goals without derailing you from being successful.
Absolutely. One of the things I'm a big fan of is just upgrading the quality of those things. So even with the French toast, how can we improve on that? Mm-hmm. You know, and one of the guests I had on, who actually is an author here as well, the sweet potato diet.
Okay,
and so he makes like sweet potato brownies. Right. You know, like upgrade the quality of those indulgences so that your body doesn't take, you know, potentially a bigger hit.
Right.
You know, and also you mentioned earlier about the quality of those calories. So I want to talk more about that because a lot of people, they feel that in order to lose weight, and this is why some people don't even try in the first place, is that they have to cut away so many calories.
Right.
But if you cut your calories too low, this can be a problem.
Well, what we put in the book, was that, you know, at least the research that I've read is that if you are on a caloric diet that is lower than 1,200 calories, you typically will see your biggest RMR drop, which is your resting metabolic rate. So we're not trying to push 800 calories a day, 1,000 calories a day. I think the lowest calories we have is between maybe 1,200 and 1,250. And that's a petite woman during the final 4 week of the 12-week program. And then after you get to your desired weight, then we tell you the maintenance caloric nutritional program you should be on. So we're not pushing these extreme low caloric diets because it's counterproductive in terms of losing weight. We don't believe that you should be hungry when you're trying to maintain your shape or lose weight. That's not fun, it's not sustainable, and it's not a lifestyle.
Right, and also your body, our bodies are designed to survive first. So that starvation program is gonna kick in.
Exactly.
Reduce your metabolism, lower your thyroid function, and it's just not a smart idea. You know, but through our evolution, we do have this kind of feast and famine approach. So there are times that you can, and that's another great thing about things like carb cycling. and you know, maybe going a little bit less calories on one day, but then you got to pay them back at some point as well to maintain your weight.
And the thing about it with this book is that all those things you just touched on, absolutely you can do. I think for this book, we wanted to make it so simple. Yeah. I just did not want to complicate it. You know, maybe the sequel will touch on that. But we really wanted to make this really, really simple for the person. Just say, hey, this is what you should get. You know, the reason why we have the calories drop maybe between 100 to 250 calories every 4 weeks is typically, as you know, is that when you are on a diet or on a nutrition weight loss program, after week 3, week 4, you typically will face a plateau. So we have the calories adjust accordingly to have you get past the normal plateau that you would be on if you're on a weight loss program.
And the great thing is, because of what you're promoting, I love this, that you guys are combining to really get this message out. Something that was left off the table. We just thought calories were everything, but it's the quality of those calories, so you still feel satiated.
Absolutely, without a doubt, yes.
So just to go back really quickly, when we talked about eating carbs at night, so this was another study that I noted here. This looked at a group of young men, and they looked at the effects that a high glycemic breakfast had and lunch compared to a high glycemic dinner. And so the boys who ate the high glycemic meals ate an astounding 83% more calories than the in 12 hours than the boys who had the higher carb in the evening. And also their overall glycemic load was smaller. So eating a higher amount of carbs, especially in the earlier part of the day, can potentially stimulate your appetite in a way. You know, so what you guys are sharing is spot on. One other thing, and I would love for you to touch on this because you mentioned a story about your wife. Another myth here: weight training will make women bulk up.
Yeah, that's a good one, Mo.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, no, it will not make a woman bulk up. I mean, because even if you look at, like you say, women don't have the testosterone, enough testosterone to get built to have bulky muscles, and that's what my wife. She never wanted to work out with weights, and she still doesn't. She doesn't. I don't want to get all bulky. And I wanted to say, babe, you need to come to the gym because I see some guys in there working out 10 hours a day. It's hard for them to get bulky.
Yes.
But you know, and I understand that's one of the things with the book, because I do understand when you go into some gyms and you see the guy in the corner, loading up, grunting, and doing all this. It gets intimidating, especially if you're a woman going into the gym. And so that's why with our book, we have home workouts and gym, home exercises and gym exercises. And so that's one of the things we wanted to bring.
Right. Awesome. Well, the biggest thing I really want to touch on, I know we don't have much time, but is the real life people, real stories, real transformations. Because we didn't want this book to be about how Morris Chestnut got in shape for a movie and lost 33 pounds. We wanted it to be about everyday real people. So we did a focus group, 9 men and 9 women that went through the program over 12 weeks, and they transformed. We had 2 guys that were obese that we worked with for a year, because you and I know you can't transform an obese person in 12 weeks. And one guy named Mike Hopper, who lost 115 pounds in a year. And another guy named Rome Douglas, an ex-football player who lost about 79, 80 pounds in a year. And then the average of the people were within that, I think, 25 to 35 pound range in terms of the transformation. We had a couple guys that lost 40 pounds in 12 weeks. So they're the faces of the book. They're the ones that make the cut alive. Without them, there'd be no cut. And a lot of times you can put out a diet program and say, well, this works. Well, how do I know it works? Where's the proof? So we felt that we really wanted to have people identify with the average everyday person. Look at the back cover, look at their transformation, look at their stories, look at what they went through. And it's really, very emotional, connective stories that share. They really open up their vulnerabilities. Anytime you show your worst photo of yourself, and and want people to connect with you and have people inspired, it's a beautiful thing. So,
absolutely. Yeah. Final question, guys. What is the model that you guys are here to set with this book? What is the example that you want to set for our culture by putting this book out right now?
My thing is, I want to set an example of, like I said, it's a lifestyle. Because, you talk about diet. People call it a diet book, diet and exercise book, but it's really about a lifestyle and being committed to that lifestyle. So many people all the time, they say, I'm going to diet for 2 weeks. I'm going to diet for a month. And they'll diet for 2 weeks, they'll diet for a month. But as soon as the clock ticks and that 2 weeks is up and that month is up,
I'm out.
They're out. They go back to eating. They go right back to eating everything and say, well, I lost the weight, but I gained it back. And that's where people go up and down. So we're trying to convey and promote a healthy eating nutritious lifestyle.
Right, without a doubt.
You guys let everybody know where to pick up the book and where they can connect with you guys.
You can pick it up at thecutbook.com. You can pick it up on Amazon and anywhere where books are sold.
Anywhere where books are sold.
Barnes and Nobles. And it's really, I think at the end of the day, as Morris was saying in other places, is that if you make a commitment, just give us 12 weeks, make a commitment to this book, and I guarantee you're going to see great results.
You will see results. And like I said, you can get it anywhere where books are sold. Don't get it from Leroy in the parking lot.
The bootleg.
The bootleg version.
Not out of Leroy's trunk.
Right. Social media handles.
Social media, Obi_Obadike. If you just type in my name, it's going to come up because I think I've got the most unique ethnic name out there. They're going to find me. You know?
Morris Chestnut Official, Morris_Chestnut, and those are it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, my
Obi,
man. Thank you so much.
Morris,
Appreciate the
appreciate
opportunity.
you.
Everybody,
Thank you.
Make sure to pick up the book. Take care.